Warriors Nation, let's not sugarcoat what we're seeing right now. The Golden State Warriors are standing at a crossroads, and the direction they choose next could determine whether we're heading back into true championship contention or drifting toward another forgettable season in the brutal Western Conference. Let's start with the obvious. This team has done nothing major in free agency yet. While other franchises around the league are stacking their rosters, pulling off bold trades, and making headlines, Golden State has stayed quiet. Too quiet. Meanwhile, Steph Curry, the face of our dynasty, is nursing a hamstring injury. He's expected to be fully healthy by the start of next season, but let's be honest, any injury to your franchise superstar at age 36 is a reason to pause. This is uncharted territory for Steph, and while we believe in his recovery, the front office cannot afford to sit still. Because if we're being real, this roster has holes. Big ones, and none more glaring than at the center position. The loss of Kevon Looney to the Pelicans didn't just hurt the fan base emotionally, it created a vacuum. A gap in experience, leadership, rebounding, and defensive identity. Looney may not have put up 20 points a night, but his presence, his timing, his screens, they mattered. And now, he's gone. So the big question is, what's the plan? Because right now, all we've got at the 5 is Trayce Jackson-Davis, Quentin Post, and Draymond Green in small ball spurts. That's simply not enough in a Western Conference stacked with size and power, from Jokic in Denver to Ayton in LA to Wembanyama down in San Antonio. This is where Steve Kerr and the front office have to face the truth. The small ball revolution that we pioneered doesn't mean you ignore the importance of the front court. It means you get smart about how you use it. That brings us to the name everyone's whispering about, Al Horford. Veteran, champion, floor spacer, defensive anchor. At 38, he averaged 9 points and 6 rebounds last season with the Celtics in a limited role, but still made a real impact. He's tough, he's intelligent, and maybe most importantly, he wants to win. According to Mark Stein, Horford is destined to join the Warriors this offseason. And let's be clear, even if the Warriors can only offer him $5.7 million through the taxpayer mid-level exception, the fit makes too much sense to ignore. A Horford-Draymond frontcourt wouldn't be flashy, but it would be sturdy, smart, and playoff ready. He brings shooting, rim protection, high-level decision-making, and the kind of experience that elevates a locker room. He's been to the finals, he's helped close out series, he knows what it takes. But yes, we know what the critics are saying. He's too old. And look, that's fair. Horford just turned 39. But this isn't about building for 5 years from now. This is about maximizing the Curry window. This is about right now. Would Horford be a long-term fix? No. But could he be the final piece that helps bring out the best in Steph, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond for one more playoff run? Absolutely. And even if Horford says no, the front office can't stop there. We've heard whispers of Bol Bol. Yes, he's raw. Yes, his production has been inconsistent, but he's just 25. He's long, athletic, a capable shooter, and a decent rim protector. With proper development and a defined role, Bol could explode in Golden State's system, especially next to smart vets like Draymond and Jimmy. And then there's the wild card, Nikola Vucevic. He's not a free agent, but he's available. And this might be where the Warriors need to get bold. Packaging Jonathan Kuminga and salary filler for exchange for Vucevic gives Golden State a high IQ, floor-spacing center who can average 18 and 10 on elite shooting splits. He may not be a shot blocker, but his offensive versatility would open the floor for Steph and Butler like never before. So, Warriors Nation, here's where we're at. This team is aging. The West is getting younger, deeper, and hungrier. We still have Steph. We still have Jimmy. We still have Draymond. But we need size. We need skill. We need a front court presence that can anchor us defensively and stretch the floor offensively. And the longer we wait, the more options vanish. This offseason has been quiet so far, but it doesn't have to end that way. The move is there. The need is clear. The only question left is, will the front office step up? Warriors Nation, we want to hear from you. Should the Warriors go all in on Al Horford even with his age? Is Bol Bol a project worth taking on, or is that another gamble? Would you trade Kuminga for Vucevic to go all in on this core one more time? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let your voice be heard. This community thrives because of fans like you. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. We've got more breaking updates, rumors, and real talk on the way.
So here we are, Warriors Nation, at the heart of the front court debate. Three names keep surfacing, each with their own set of pros, cons, and very different implications for Golden State's path forward. Al Horford, Bol Bol, and Nikola Vucevic. Let's break them down one by one. Al Horford, the smart, safe move. On paper, Al Horford makes perfect sense. He fits exactly what the Warriors want. A veteran stretch big who doesn't need touches to impact the game. He's calm under pressure, a floor general on defense, and someone who understands the rhythm and flow of playoff basketball, something many younger centers still struggle with. Let's not forget what he just did with the Celtics. At age 38, playing limited minutes, he still managed to average nearly 9 points and 6 boards per game, while anchoring one of the most disciplined defenses in the league. And unlike some bigs who clog the lane and slow down the pace, Horford spaces the floor, shoots the three, and keeps the ball moving, all essential traits in Steve Kerr's system. But here's the concern. How much gas does he have left in the tank? He'll be 39 during the 2025-26 season. If the Warriors go after him, they're essentially betting everything on one more run with Curry, Butler, and Draymond. That's not a rebuild. That's not a transition. That's a last dance. And let's be real, that strategy only works if everyone stays healthy. If one of the core guys goes down, it all collapses. So while Horford offers short-term stability, he also reinforces the reality that time is running out. Bol Bol, the wild card with hidden potential. Now, flip the script. Let's talk about Bol Bol. At 7'2", with guard-like handles, Bol is one of the most enigmatic players in the league. Every time he steps on the court, there's a sense that something special could happen. A block on one end, a coast-to-coast three on the other. He's long, athletic, mobile, and offensively gifted. He's also just 25 years old. The Warriors have thrived in the past by developing role players into system stars. Think Jordan Poole, Kevon Looney, even Andrew Wiggins. Could Bol be next? That depends on two things: playing time and consistency. In Phoenix, Bol barely saw the floor. When he did, he had flashes, 2 20-point games, a huge double-double, a few highlight blocks. But without a steady role, he faded. In Golden State, surrounded by high IQ veterans and a proven coaching staff, he could finally unlock that potential. And if he does pan out, the Warriors could go from having no front court depth to suddenly fielding a 7-foot rim protector who can also shoot and pass. That's the kind of upside you just don't find in free agency. But again, it's a gamble. Bol is unproven over a full season. His defensive awareness and durability remain question marks. Bringing him in would be betting on upside, not reliability. Which brings us to the third most aggressive option, Nikola Vucevic, the trade swing that could change everything. We're talking about a 2-time All-Star, a center who just averaged 18.5 points, 10.1 rebounds, and shot over 40% from three. That's elite production for a big man in today's game, and exactly the kind of offensive anchor Golden State has lacked in years. Vucevic wouldn't just fill a need. He'd change the identity of this team. Imagine a lineup of Curry, Butler, Wiggins, Draymond, and Vucevic. That's a squad that can score in bunches and punish mismatches in the half court. He's not a free agent, but he might be available. Chicago hasn't been shy about shopping veteran talent, and the Warriors do have assets, most notably Jonathan Kuminga. And this is where the conversation gets tough. Are we ready to let go of Kuminga? He's young, athletic, and still developing. He has flashes of brilliance, but he also disappears in big moments. If the Warriors are serious about making one last push with this core, trading Kuminga might be the price.
Because Vucevic would give this team something they've never truly had: a skilled, high-usage, floor-spacing big who can relieve pressure from Curry, especially in crunch time. Yes, his defense isn't elite. Yes, he's already 34, but his game is based on skill and feel, not athleticism, and that ages well. So, what's the move, Warriors Nation? Each option has its appeal. Al Horford gives you experience and chemistry. Bol gives you potential and youth. Vucevic gives you firepower and balance. But this is the Warriors. This is not a team that plays it safe, not a team that hides from pressure. If we're going all in, we need to go bold and go now. Kerr needs a center who can complement Steph and Jimmy, not just fill minutes. This team doesn't need another experiment. It needs impact. And that's where you come in, Warriors fans. Would you rather take the gamble on Bol Bol's upside or trust Horford's playoff experience? Is trading Kuminga for Vucevic a no-brainer or a big mistake for the future? Which big man do you think best fits our championship timeline? Tell us in the comments. Let's get this conversation going. Smash that like button if you're tired of waiting and want this front office to take action now. And of course, subscribe to Warriors Nation News so you don't miss what's coming next.
So now that we've broken down the options, the veterans, the experiments, the trades, it all comes down to this moment. Will the Golden State Warriors act with purpose? Because here's the truth, Warriors Nation. Waiting is no longer an option. The Western Conference isn't waiting. The Denver Nuggets retooled around Jokic. The Rockets added firepower. The Clippers brought in Brook Lopez. The Lakers are lurking. And the Timberwolves are rising. Every contender in the West got tougher, younger, bigger. And meanwhile, we're still staring at an empty spot in the middle of the court. But we're not just any team. We're the Golden State Warriors. We've been counted out before. We've been overlooked, disrespected, and every time we've come back swinging. The problem isn't that this roster is flawed. The problem is that the right move hasn't been made yet. You've got a core of champions in Curry, Draymond, and now Jimmy Butler, a trio that knows how to win when the lights are brightest. But without a reliable big, without someone to protect the paint and create space on offense, we're putting too much weight on Steph's shoulders again. And let's be honest, that's no longer sustainable. Al Horford gives us the leadership and system fit. Bol Bol offers the intrigue and upside. Nikola Vucevic provides the production and balance. But more than that, making any one of these moves signals something bigger. It tells the world that the Warriors are still in this fight, that we're not going quietly into another season of mediocrity. Because let's remember where we were just a few years ago, hoisting the Larry O'Brien Trophy in 2022. And now, after missing the 2024 playoffs and barely holding things together mid-season in 2025, there's doubt, there's noise, there are analysts writing us off. That's why this moment matters. This offseason isn't just about fixing the roster, it's about setting a tone, about showing Steph and every Warrior fan out there that we're not wasting what's left of this championship window. Now imagine this: Steph Curry healthy and rested, Jimmy Butler locked in, Draymond doing Draymond things, Wiggins flying under the radar, Clay or a replacement providing spacing, and in the middle, Horford or Vucevic or Bol Bol finally giving us balance. That's not a fringe playoff team. That's a dangerous squad with the mindset, experience, and toughness to make a real run in 2026. But there's one more thing we haven't mentioned, and it's important: the fans. You, the Dub Nation. You've stood by this team through the dynasty years, the injuries, the bubble season, and the post-title comedown. You packed the Chase Center when people called us washed. You believed when nobody else did. And now, the front office owes you something. They owe you a move. They owe you a direction. Not another offseason of we like our internal development, but an actual push toward competing in the final years of Curry's prime. Because if this front office does what we think they can, if they pull the trigger on the right move, then guess what? We're right back in the hunt. Horford? He'll give us grit. Bol Bol? He could surprise the league. Vucevic? That might be the move that puts us over the top. No matter who it is, The Warriors need to make a decision now. So, we want to hear from you, Warriors fans. Which big man do you want the Warriors to sign or trade for? Do you think the front office has the guts to make a bold move, or will they play it safe again? And most of all, do you believe this roster, with one more key piece, can win it all in 2026? Let us know in the comments below. This community is built on your voice. Drop your take, like the video, and don't forget to subscribe to Warriors Nation News for more truth, strategy, and real talk about our team. This isn't over. This isn't decline. This is transformation. The dynasty doesn't die. It evolves. Let's go, Warriors.